Have you figured out what I'm getting ready to do? I'm getting ready to eat a lobster. That's what I'm doing. I couldn't get my bib to stay. And it was Maine, the way life should be, with a lobster right on it. There it is, the iconic cooked lobster. Please notice the color. It ends up on our license plates like that too, but red is a cooked lobster. Lobsters, my friend, right? They can be orangey and mottled like this, kind of green mottling. They can be more green. You can have a blue lobster. You can have an albino lobster, but a red lobster? Maybe somebody watching this story time will tell us otherwise. But I am so excited, as you can probably tell, because we have the book, The Lobster Lady, here in the library. I have to thank Mr. Jared, the director, because I was like, please, can we have this book? And here it is. With no further ado, by the way, this is our craft today. He's upside down, I guess, depending on your point of view. And I put just this backing on him. You don't need to do that, just so you could see him better. But we are going to make ourselves a lobster. Yes, we are. Chumpy, chumpy. I would not suggest chomping like that. You'll break your teeth. So that's why you need crackers. So until, Mr. Lobster, you're going to go upside down for a little bit. Let us get into this amazing book about a woman that lives here in Maine, Virginia. Virginia still lobsters at 103 years old. Yes, you heard me right. 103 years old, still lobstering. Well, sit yourself right down. Maybe you've got a lobster roll. Oh, whatever. That's just me thinking. Here we go. This is written by Alexandra S.D. Hinrichs, and it's illustrated by Jamie Hogan, and the likeness is pretty extraordinary. So kudos to Jamie Hogan, because Virginia's been on the news all over the place. Get ready. And you have it right here in your own library. There she is right there with her 80-something-year-old son. The Lobster Lady wakes while the world still sleeps. Out the window, through the darkness, and across a yard, she can just make out the house where she was born. 102 years ago. Now it's 103. She plates the chocolate donuts baked the night before, and her son Max prepares coffee, milky and sweet, just the way she likes it. After breakfast, she applies her lipstick. I love her. I love her. The Lobster Lady is ready. Her boat and the sea awaits. I mean, that's a classy lady right there, lipstick, getting ready to get her lobsters. Morning, Virginia. Morning, Max. The lobsterman greets them. That was my main. Morning. That was my main thing. They smile in turn, and that looks very much like her. On board, they don, which means they put on. They don oil slicks and boots and head to the co-op. Hello, Ginny, men holler from the deck. Virginia's eyes twinkle as she waves. Once she and Max have filled their boat with gas and bait, they turn toward the rising sun. Okay? Imagine baking fresh donuts at 103. I don't even buy them, and I'm like 62, just saying. Okay, well, sometimes I do buy them. Day's Store shout out. Okay. The motor whirs as Virginia puts slippery silver pogies into a salt roughened bait bag. When they reach their first buoy, Max hauls in the traps. Let's see what we've got, gulls cry as metal clangs. They're hoping for a good catch, too. And please notice it says Virginia, Rockland, Maine, right there. So the boat is named after Ginny, and it should be, I think. Virginia reaches inside the trap and careful, pulls out the first lobster. It scurries onto the table, raising its claws for battle. And then careful, careful, Virginia measures the lobster. See, she's got, well, might be in her hand. You have to measure to make sure they're the right size. No good, she announces, and tosses the too small crustacean into the sea. She finds eggs on the next one, so goes back too. The third one measures out, and she finds no eggs or marks. Careful, careful. She bands the claws, because, like, look how big those claws can be. Right? She bands the claws and then places it in the tank. Lobster after lobster trap, Virginia and Max work. They know the rhythms of the job so well that they don't talk much, letting the quiet loudness, pretty phrase right there, quiet loudness of the ocean and the boat wash over them. The quiet loudness. Think about that. Uh-oh, see, that's why I said careful. Look what happened. Ginny's getting a bite. She has gloves on, but it's a crab. And the crab has one really strong claw. Virginia finds a lone crab and sets it aside for her daughter's husband, thinking of his favorite meal. Before she can band it, though, it bites her with its strong claw. She drops it into the bucket and Max steers the boat to shore. They need a doctor. I mean, Ginny is tough, but, you know, she's skin and bone. The crab got her good 7 stitches later. The doctor looks up at Virginia. He takes in her lipstick, her earrings, and gray curls. What are you doing out there anyway? He chides. Chide means like he's kind of picking on her. Virginia pauses. She remembers. Okay, now this is interesting. Look, she's looking kind of far away into the past. The island. Beautiful. The smell of sawdust. The roar of bellows, right? Because they're doing that anvil, work, blacksmith. The chatter in the store, and the salt water drops on her tongue. There was always a job for everyone, even her. There she is as a little girl. She remembers the way her family flowed together and apart. The summer Saturdays crossing the bar, cooking beans, suppers, the music and clapping and call of the dance hall, and her mother trying to catch her for bed. Fireflies, you see them, the fireflies are out. They're out right now too, my friends. Yes, they are. Leaving the island and her parents behind to live in the mainland house full of aunts and her grandfather during the long school months. She doesn't look very happy there, does she? Diving into book after book, feeling awash in the missing, the trips to the post office built with the island granite that she had inside her too. And there's her report card. It's the Rockland Public School report card that she's got. Virginia remembers the thrill of being in charge, deciding to celebrate the start of summer and her island return with too many chocolate straws and a bottle of Moxie that churned in her stomach like stormy seas. Maine's beverage, Moxie right there. Learning to pilot the boat on an ocean full of boats, full of boys, and the way the fishermen listened when she called them to work each morning hauling in her own lobster traps. Now she looks like she's getting into her 20s. She remembers learning loss. So probably her mom, dad, family members. She remembers learning love, her husband, and love and love and love. She remembers the years trying to find the just right job. The nights in the sardine factory snipping heads and tails that ruined her taste for herring. That'd be a hard job. The years in the printing press office doing whatever they needed her to do, and the day her lobsterman came home to find her hanging laundry on the line. "I thought you went to work," he said. "I did," she replied. "I quit. I want to go with you." And the very next day she did, returning to the sea on a boat named for her. So now, right, she's looking like 20s, 30s, and so now she's back to talking to the doctor. Now, Virginia glares at the doctor. What was she doing out there? "I wanted to go," she answers him, "so I did." Back at home, Max tells their friends and family about the doctor's comment. One friend says, "You're something of a pioneer, aren't you, Ginny?" "I'm me," Virginia responds, a glimmer of island granite in her eye. They laugh together into the night, but not too late, because they get up at like before the sun. The next morning, the Lobster Lady wakes while the world still sleeps. Her boat and the sea await. Beautiful picture. Isn't that a beautiful picture? And then, at the back of this, right, I love this. Here's Virginia's recipe for her lobster roll. Love that. And her bean supper. And then it tells you her whole biography here and some of the source material that you could look up if you want to know more about lobstering here in Maine, which is one of our heritage jobs. That means it's been here for a long time. So let's get ready, my little crafting heritage people, and let's go make a lobster, shall we? So you want to make a lobster, do ya? That was kind of a Maine, turns into a Irish brogue accent. Okay, well I don't know if it was truly that, but whatever. This is what I did. Now the hardest part of this craft, and you don't have to do this, or yes, go ahead and do this. Look up lobsters and try and make it look real. So the first thing you have, well, not the first thing, you have a couple things. So, oops, where's his claws? Well, his claws are in my bag over there. Well, you'll get claws too. So they're just over there, I think. Hang on, I'll find them. Yep, they're in my bag. So that's all right, we'll get them. Promise I've got them. So, you'll have the tail. You just do all the coloring you want. Here's the body, right? The head piece and the mid piece. Color that. Glue them together. Then, trust me, you'll have the claws. Glue those on. And then this is I kind of like this part. I think this makes it real. You're going to have little slivers of construction paper, and all I did is roll it on my finger like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's very hot and humid today, so look, presto changeo. Well, not a great presto changeo, but you'll get my point. You just keep working at it so that you get its feelers. Yeah, its little antennae. I guess antenna, not feelers. Antenna, I guess, yeah. So anyway, and then the fun little googly eye on top, and bing da bing, you got yourself a lobster. Oh, cool fact, and Virginia's book mentioned it, but I wanted you to understand. You could do this to yours too if you want to. You probably can't see, but maybe you can. See the tail, how I cut a triangle, just a small triangle out of the tail? Well, that means that this lobster would be a female lobster that had eggs. And so when the lobstermen find them, they put a little notch in the tail, and that means, do not take this lobster. Isn't that fascinating? And that makes it so that for the rest of, we hope, time, Maine lobster will be available and plentiful. So we have books. Come get some books. Find out about this crustacean. Until next time, see you later. Bye.